Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. What's going on? Hi, everybody. Hello, Mr. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Longest time. Happy New Month. Hello, Mr. Professor. 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Good evening. I'm not your woman, but good evening. Hi, everyone. Happy New Month. 𝒂𝒐𝒓𝒌𝒊𝒕. Yes, 𝒑𝒂𝒔𝒐𝒓𝒌𝒊𝒕, as they say. What does that even mean? Because, when 𝒂𝒐𝒓𝒌𝒊𝒕, meaning 𝒑𝒂𝒔𝒐𝒓𝒌𝒊𝒕. But what does the 𝒑𝒂𝒔𝒐𝒓𝒌𝒊𝒕? I know 𝒂𝒐𝒓𝒌𝒊𝒕 means it's been a while. But 𝒑𝒂𝒔𝒐𝒓𝒌𝒊𝒕, what does that mean? What is that supposed to mean? Hello, Bukalami. Happy New Month. Happy New Month of July. I am 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Hi. Hello, Miss Peggy. Hi, TikTok family. Hello, Facebook and YouTube. Hi, everyone. Like, does anybody know what that means? Like, what does 𝒑𝒂𝒔𝒐𝒓𝒌𝒊𝒕, what does that mean? I'm trying to do something here. Give me 1 second. No, that's not it. No, that's not it. Okay, I don't know. Thought I was going to be able to. No, that's not it. That's not it. Is it this one? No, but anyway, listen. I was going to figure something out. Make sure you hear this is Mr. Balogun. Please smile. We'll call you next week. Okay. Miss me where? But anyway, hi everyone. Happy New Month. Welcome to the month of July, the first day of the best half of 2025. It's going to be a phenomenal second half of the year. We're speaking that into existence and agreeing in faith that we are going to be shocked and surprised, and not surprised, but shocked, and we would marvel at God's faithfulness this second half of the year. What you think that, what we thought was amazing, miraculous actions from God and blessings and all, He is going to supersede that, go above. Hello, Miss Sanctuary. Go above and beyond in this second half of 2025 that would no eyes have seen, no mouths have heard, no mouths have spoken, and no ears have heard. That which God is going to do for us this second half of 2025. So if there are things that you were hoping for and praying for and believing and trusting God for the first half of 2025, and it looks like, okay, the first half is over and that didn't come to pass and all of that, that's okay. Just hang in there, knowing that God is still faithful. He is still God who sits upon the throne of grace, able to do exceedingly abundantly above and beyond. He will answer us. He will meet us at the very point of our needs. And for all you know, and I truly believe that He is saving the best for last, as they say. But truthfully, whatever it is that we have placed before the altar of grace and it's yet to be manifested, it's coming. Just hang in there. It shall surely come, and it will come at the appropriate time. So as we start this first day of the second half of 2025, the first day of July 2025, we're agreeing in faith as a community, especially with everything that's going on around us. We're agreeing in faith as a community that God has gone before us. He will be with us. We will see Him behind us. In every situation, we will see God. His favor will speak on our behalf. Grace shall be our constant companion. Mercy shall speak our names even before we enter a room. That which they thought we couldn't achieve, this second half of 2025, not only shall we achieve that, we would accomplish beyond human comprehension. that even what God has in store for us, we will be astonished, and we would remember, as long as we remember to return all the glory to Him. So it shall be well, it must be well. We are His chosen generation. We are part of the heritage of kingdom of heaven. Therefore, that means that we shall succeed. We must succeed because our God is our Father, who is the owner of all good things, and that which is good shall find us and bless us indeed. So we're not going to just sit back and say, we'll pray, yes, but we are taking what belongs to us, because our Father has given it to us. And because He has given that to us, we shall claim that which belongs to us, and so shall it be. Nobody whatever has our name on it shall not be missing, it shall not be misplaced, but it would find us where we are and bless us, and we will return all the glory to His name. So shall it be. You got to speak it into existence. Speak it before you see it, knowing that it shall surely come to pass. All right, everyone, welcome to July. Welcome to our month of manifestation, a month of where we were going to thrive and see breakthroughs and conquer and overcome. So shall it be. Hi, everyone. This is Attorney 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. If you've got an immigration case, if it's a case that we handle, we can and do represent immigration clients, regardless of the state you live in. Immigration is federal practice. It is blessed for us all. God's favor. So shall it be. We agree in faith with you. Immigration is federal practice, so that means that your state of residency is irrelevant to whether or not an attorney can represent you. And so contact us 334-341-4475. Visit our website at 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. We'll be glad to represent you this month. Come on in. Welcoming all potentially new clients, return clients. I think I had 2 return clients. So I'm like, okay, so 1 citizenship and 1 filing for their child. It's always good to see people come back, and it's always good. It's a great thing. And we're starting the month with H-1B approvals and work authorization. I think green card came in today. So we are going to have many reasons to celebrate one another in this July. Many reasons to celebrate one another in the months to come and the years to come, regardless of what may be going on with policies and all that. 1,000 will fall at our side, 10,000 by our right side, but they shall not come near us. Only with our eyes shall we behold the reward of the wicked. So it doesn't matter what may be happening around you. It doesn't matter what's going on. You are permanently protected by the grace of God. So because we have the edge of fire around about us, the hand of God is continuing around us. We have permanent protection. That means we're untouchable. And so none shall alter that which God has destined for us. And we got to remember to declare it each and every day over ourselves, over our households, over our children, as we said before we step out each day. All right, let's talk immigration, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, share, like, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube at 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Hi, Ellen Girl. How are you? My day was blessed. How was yours? All right, people. So we get to questions. If you're just joining us for the first time, let us know where you're joining us from, what state, what city, what country, and welcome. We, as Ms. Sanctuary, we say, to the most positive space on social media platforms, something along social space or something along those lines. And we get to questions. Some days, some nights we have questions, the question night. Most nights we have topics to talk about, and if we have some time left and I talk about it, take some questions. Are we still on LinkedIn? Well, we are on LinkedIn. It's just not like Kyla, our social media girl, is always trying to get me, because it's LinkedIn is kind of like a different vibe. So she's just like, okay, I need you to approve this. I'm like, I ain't approving nothing because I just don't know what it is, but we are. It's there. But anyway, from Australia, okay. Thank you for joining from Australia. Put your questions in the comment section, and then I'll get to as many as I can afterwards. So we all know, hi, Miss Mary, that the Supreme Court had some rulings back on Friday. And one of such rulings involved birthright citizenship. So we're going to talk about that, kind of like about that tonight. So what we're talking about, citizenship for your child. So because God knows our phone lines have been going, you can only imagine. And people are like, okay, so it's no child born in the United States can get citizenship. No, that's not. Even though I took time to do a video, but it's still up on our page if you want to, to hear. Hello, Mrs. BME, to go watch it. That's so. Let's get your questions regarding that answer. But I'm sure that by the time we're done, that would help with a lot of people. So citizenship for your child, specifically for those who come, because that happens all the time. They call them anchor baby. I hate that term, but that's what it is. But that's the truth of the matter. Specifically for those who come from foreign mothers who come either because they are coming for treatment and they have high risk pregnancies, so it's best for them to come to a developed world like the United States and have their child and all that. How is that going to change for them? Citizenship for children. So for instance, someone born to a child born to a mother who is in the United States on a visitor visa, does that mean that child no longer will be able to become a citizen, or what exactly is going to happen with this Supreme Court ruling? So let's start with that. The one thing I want to be very clear on, so that there is no confusion about that, is this. The Supreme Court has not ruled on whether or not, and that's the main question in all of this, is the birthright citizenship executive order, is it a constitution? Does it violate the Constitution? Specifically, does it violate the 14th Amendment? That's the main question that everyone is we're still trying. That's the end goal, right? But Supreme Court has not reached the end goal. They have not even tackled that question at all. So what is the whole fuss about what they did, and if they have not addressed that issue? Here's what they addressed so far. So when this whole birthright citizenship executive order was supposed to go into effect on February 19th, if you guys remember, quite a number of people, associations, plaintiffs in some states filed lawsuits, right? Just like the DACA program, for those who are on DACA. Right now, the DACA program is not, you cannot file a new application for DACA. The reason being, I think it was actually in Texas, a federal judge put out a nationwide nationwide injunction that preset that DACA was illegal, so no new DACA applications can be filed, and that has been for years now. So my take on that is this, I'm looking forward to it, but my take on that is based on the Supreme Court ruling, and that means that the nationwide injunction put in place by a judge from Texas should not be effective anymore. And that means states where lawsuits were not filed against this DACA program, then new DACA applications should be allowed. So I digress, but it was that executive order on birthright citizenship was supposed to go into effect on February 19. Lawsuits were filed, and then based on those lawsuits, nationwide injunctions were put in place to prevent that executive order from going into effect on February 19. So what this administration did was they turned around and filed a lawsuit against that nationwide injunction. Not whether or not their executive order is constitutional, but whether a federal judge in one circuit can actually, or district, can actually enter a nationwide injunction that's not going to block a policy or executive order from going into effect nationwide. That was the issue before the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court came back and said that for a district judge to do that is overreaching. What does that mean? It means that you cannot go beyond, it cannot protect beyond those that actually file the lawsuit. So if you want to if you want to enter an injunction, then it is limited and protect only those who are part of that lawsuit in those specific states. That was the only issue regarding the birthright citizenship before the Supreme Court, that the ruling that came in on Friday. So when you talk of a mother who is here on a visitor visa and is wanting to have a child in the United States, does that mean, based on this ruling, that the nationwide injunction was overreaching, so the federal judges did not have the authority to actually put those injunctions in place to now affect or impact the whole nation? It would only affect the plaintiffs in those specific states. Does that mean that a mother who is not here temporarily, who ordinarily would have a child and that child automatically becomes a citizen, does that change that for a mother in that situation? And the answer to that is it depends. You can hear TJ. Hi, TJ. Yeah, he's back. You can hear me. He's reading. So the answer to that is it depends. And here's why it depends. If such a mother who is on a visitor visa, for instance, comes to the United States, plans to have a child, and that mother is in one of the states that did not file, one of the states that doesn't have plaintiffs, or meaning they didn't file lawsuits against the government, the federal government, this administration, challenging the birthright citizenship executive order, and the mother has a child in one of those states, and I think that there are 22 states that filed lawsuits, 28 states that did not file lawsuits, and we can already know what states didn't file. They're all red states. So if a mother on a visitor visa has a child in a state where they didn't file a lawsuit, so an example would be, you come to the United States on a visitor visa, you come to my good old state of Alabama, and you have a child in Alabama. Now, let me back up a little bit. Even though the ruling is in the favor of this administration, the Supreme Court also gave a 30-day window before this executive order on birthright citizenship will go into effect. So basically, up until July 27. So if nobody in the state of Alabama challenges the constitutionality of that birthright citizenship executive order, and you've got a foreign mother who comes in on a visitor visa, plans to have a child, and that child is born on or after July 27, 2025, and no lawsuit is filed in Alabama, for instance, which is one of the states where they did not challenge that, and nobody files a lawsuit before July 27, 2025, then that means that the executive order will take effect in Alabama, and the child born to that mother will not be a citizen automatically if the father of the child is not a green card holder or a citizen. So if the mother is on a visitor visa, but the father is a green card holder or a citizen, then the child will still automatically become a citizen in spite of being born in Alabama, which is one of the states that did not challenge the birthright citizenship executive order. Conversely, if the father of the child is undocumented or also on a visitor visa or work visa or temporary work visa, and the child is born in Alabama on or after July 27, no lawsuit is filed, then that child will not automatically become a citizen. So that's basically what this whole thing is going to be about. So it depends on what state a child, and so if a mother comes into the United States, they are here on a visitor visa, they have a child, that child is born on or after July 27, depending on if lawsuits are filed, depending on the state that the child is born in, depending on the status of the father of the child, those are factors that would determine whether or not that child would automatically derive citizenship, which is completely different from what has always been for many, many years, meaning that a child that has been born in the United States, regardless of the status of the parent, is automatically a citizen. So that's where we are. So just to recap, Supreme Court has not ruled on whether or not this executive order is constitutional. What the Supreme Court has done is a federal judge cannot put nationwide injunctions. So that means that each state has to have plaintiffs to challenge those. Now, do we expect to have plaintiffs to challenge the birthright citizenship executive order in those 28 states? Maybe a handful of them. But like in my state in Alabama, that would be a miracle. So, I don't have people work out in Nigeria, like Birmingham area, to Huntsville, like we're going to Huntsville. They're due before July 27. I thought they were lost in Maryland, in California, those places. So that's basically what that is about. So I'm hoping that actually helps to put things in perspective and for us to understand how this is going to be. It's going to be we got to brace ourselves. It's unprecedented. It's a whole lot going on. It's a whole lot going on. So just be prepared that's where we are right now, and we're just going to take it one day at a time. And that's all, sure, people. I hope that helps to simplify what this is all about, and for those that may be affected. But if you are going to have your child in any of those 22 states where they have the injunction still in place, then your child will still automatically become a citizen regardless of the status of the parents. And that's all, sure, people. Hi, Mr. Kovner. Let's get as many questions as possible. We are doing well. How about yourself? We're doing well. We're doing well. Hello, Miss Collins. Thank you for joining from beautiful St. Kitts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. I have been approved for citizenship for over 62 days in Houston. How long do I need to keep waiting to get? We're seeing, so Mr. Tusk, you're not the only one. We're seeing quite a bit of delay. From Houston, the Houston that is Atlanta field office, Houston field office. There's another one where I have 3 clients. Quite a bit of delay for them to schedule oath ceremony. So I think if you call USCIS, they're going to tell you that your case is still within normal processing time, which it is, because it's going to be a calculation for the total amount of time from when you file to when the oath ceremony is scheduled. But you will eventually get scheduled. It just listen. There's a whole lot we cannot explain, but this administration is what we're saying. We just take it one day at a time. Okay, this is not immigration related, but your fellow country entertainer, our star, performed on Saturday at the St. Kitts Music. My son says she performed. Okay, that's good. I think I've heard. Listen, I'm not. I think she's an Afrobeat artist. Besides, okay, more Davido. Because like I said, like too much. No, I can do have one, but I just don't know all of them. So I know Davido. I know Burna Boy. I'm thinking. I know quite a handful, but I'm not sure. I probably have heard her name. Yeah, but that's good. I'm glad your son had fun. Okay. I have been waiting for my work disclaimer responses to your questions, general in nature, nothing specific to anyone's case. I've been waiting for my work authorization renewal for 3 years. Don't know what to do. 3 years. Based on what? Based on what? I'm just going to use your middle name. Calling from California. Thank you for joining from California. But what is your work authorization based on? What kind of case did you file? Let's try to figure out if you even filed the right category to start with. I'm going to wait for you to respond before I move on to, let me get ready though. Oh, thank you, Miss Under Sanctuary. How can I forget Keith Daniels? How can I possibly? That is my, and my whoever knows 𝐸𝐫𝐸, tell him that is my favorite Afrobeats artist. Listen, y'all, everybody to each their own. You cannot argue that one with me. Like, let me send this actually knows that is my playlist is probably 85% 𝐸𝐫𝐸. But I just love his vibe. He's a whole vibe on his own. Okay, Ms. 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒒. So are you representing yourself in your case? Or do you have a lawyer? Oh, Miss Collins, you're probably Nigerian. You just don't know it. Are you representing yourself in your case, or do you have a lawyer? Which one? Yes to what? Yes, you're representing yourself. Yes, you have a lawyer. Yes to which one? I have my shorts. I'm looking at my tattoo. Wait, you have a lawyer. Okay. So do you have your receipt notice for the work authorization? Do you have it close by? I'm not talking of your case tracker now. I'm talking of the actual receipt notice that will tell you what category you filed. If you were on Instagram, you could have just called in. I don't think you can do it on Facebook. That'll be a lot easier than waiting and all that. But do you have the receipt notice itself that would tell you what category you filed? That's my child telling me, hey, sissy. All right, so this is what I want you to do. Go and look in because if you have a work authorization renewal that is pending for 3 years, I'm not really sure why it would be pending for 3 years. The only thing that would make sense to me why it would be pending for 3 years is if you actually filed. So I take it that your case is still pending, right? The case is still pending. The case you filed it on is still pending, or has it been approved? Has the main case been approved, but it's still pending? Okay, so whenever you get a chance to get to your to actual receipt, not case tracker, not what is that? No, the actual receipt notice from USCIS that tells you, your case tab I-765. Then you go on the way it says category. If your category is showing C31, then that's why you've been waiting all this while. I would hope that it's showing C9. If it's showing C9, then definitely it's outside the more processing time. You need to contact USCIS, or have your lawyer contact USCIS. But if you have to start from there, if the category on that the receipt notice is showing C31, that's why you've been waiting 3 years, because you're not going to get a C31 EAD until the underlying case has been approved. So that's what you need to do. But if you confirm that it's C9, then you or the lawyer has to call USCIS to let them know that it's been pending for too long and see what's going on. Okay, let's see. I hope that helps. All right, let's see. 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒕. Thank you, 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒕. Happy New Month. Good evening, sister. Good, feels good to be back here. How was your day? We're glad you're back. God's favorite. You're welcome. My day was fine. How was yours? Happy New Month, y'all. Happy New Month. God's favorite says Happy New Month. Please season us with more colors. Listen, I woke up this one, I was like, let's go green. It's a new month. Green is a great color. It is a color of fruitfulness, of growth, of abundance, of multiplication. So I was like, okay, here we are. Is it advisable to apply for citizenship now with VAWA? So I take it, Queen, I take it that you already have your green card. from VA. Is that what it is? So let's see. Okay, so how long have you had your green card for? Thank you, Lord. July is blessed for us all. Amen. 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 Three years. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if as long as you've had that green card for at least 3 years and there's nothing in your record that you should be worried about, no conviction or anything, there's nothing, there are approving citizenship applications. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to apply for your citizenship. Okay. From Maryland, from Washington, welcome. Johnny from Maryland, please. I'm a student on STEM OPT. I want to go home to travel. Instead of say anything about travel, I don't answer the such questions outside of a paid consultation or refer that question to your attorney. No. Hello, Miss BME. How are you? Hey, Miss Patience. How are you? It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Hey, T. Joe. That's my child. I filed for my work permit in March, and instead of getting a receipt notice with extension, I got a receipt notice to create online access, although my case will be 3 years in August. So what's your question? TJ, oh my, he's right. Well, you already said hi, TJ. I called them and they said I didn't get a receipt notice for extension because I don't qualify. What does that mean? I can't tell you what it means because I have no clue what that would entail. So without knowing more about your case, I don't know what those say you don't qualify for. If you get an RFE for your VA I-485, doesn't mean your interview waived mostly. No, that's not what it means. Because you can get an RFE for your medical and they can still schedule you for an interview. Or get an RFE for like initial evidence and they still can schedule for an interview. You're welcome, Quinn. I have a question. I have a visitor here. She wants to ask questions. Miss Peggy, let her call me. Ask her questions here. All right, let's see. Hey, Mama. My mom is on. Y'all say hello to my mom. Welcome, everyone, to the most positive immigration space on social platforms. So that's our safest space to celebrate immigration victories and ask questions about new policies with. Thank you. Hola, Mama. I appreciate that. Are they still okay? So that's the same question I just answered. Hi, TikTok family. Let me put this here so I can see. Okay, good. Let's see. Rural area shit the life. Thank you for sharing. Baby boy joined. That's one of my TJ's nicknames. Baby boy. Baby boy. You look like a Nigerian actress I've seen. I mean, if you give me a new gig out, oh no, call what as my mom would say. Oh no, call what jazz. Got an acting gig from you. Listen, me and my friend that boxer will come and act. Watching from Ghana. Thank you for joining. I love how you speak immigration and layering with the word of God. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. I have applied for my new EAD since October 2024. Got the receipt letter, but the card is not yet here. So what's your question? You're going to wait. I'm sure it's still waiting no more present time. If it's outside the more present time, then contact USCIS. Okay. Can you travel? Okay, so like I said, I have a brother who is a citizen and is in the military. I currently have TPS. Do I qualify for P parole in place? Not as a sibling. I-130 taking too long. Okay. Like I said, anything about travel, that's something you're going to have to defer those questions to your attorney who helped you, or sit down with one to figure, because travel now is not just about, okay, I want to go, and no, there's a whole, it's almost like a whole production. You've got to make sure that there's nothing that's going to be a problem in your record. So yeah. Okay, all righty. Okay, I think I answered that already. Hello, Miss Tor. How are you? Hope this new one brings you lots of wings and good. Thank you. Good vibes. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. So shall it be. Amen. Have you seen USCI still schedule I-130 interview even if a person switches to VA with I-45 held in advance? Yes, it's not uncommon. But when you switch over to a VA case, the I-130 is no longer your business unless if obviously if the person doesn't show up and they forget that you asked them to hold the I-45 in advance, and because the failure of the I-130 petitioner to show up, they now deny the I-45, then that's the only thing. But now, as of our petitioner, you don't pay filing fees for any application that is related to VA. So if hopefully it doesn't get denied, because obviously that would affect your work authorization. But if the worst case scenario, if it gets denied, you can file a new one without any filing fees attached to it. Okay. All right, people. I think those are not too many questions today. We're quite a number of people, but not so. I missed your response with the VA I-485 interview. The short answer to that was yes. Okay, let's see. Okay. Can you explain the 10-year cancellation removal? So in a nutshell, it's just basically that if you are, first of all, you have to be in removal. That's the whole point of the removal there. You can only apply for a 10-year cancellation of removal if you have been placed in removal proceedings. So you're before an immigration judge, and then you have to also show that you have been physically present in the United States continuously for at least 10 years. So 10 years or more. You don't have any disqualifying criminal record. So you can show your good moral character, and you have a qualifying relative. The qualifying relative who is a citizen or green card holder, parent, spouse, child who will suffer extreme and unusual hardship if you're not made to stay and get your green card. So cancellation, 10-year cancellation removal is basically a green card application that you apply for while you are in court, as long as you meet those requirements. Okay. Alrighty, so I think we got everything answered. Wondering what basis USCIS might adjudicate an I-130 petition if there was never RFEs or an interview. That's you're telling me to figure out why USCIS. I have a case where we already, I think it was 2 years into the violence sent an interview notice. So what we did in that case was just to let them know that, hey, remember we requested 2 years ago for you guys to hold the I-45 in advance. We don't think the I-130 petitioner is going to show up. They may not even get the notice, but just a reminder that we already requested for this to be held in advance. So please do not deny based on the I-130 petitioner not showing up. And what we got was they sent us a letter saying that the administratively closed the I-485, which was good for me, uh, um, because that shows that my client, we could still renew their work authorization, or and or advanced parole, but that was an acknowledgement, quote unquote, an acknowledgement. So the I-130 ended up being denied. They actually sent the spouse a notice because they were still married, and the spouse was not asking my client, hey, why didn't you tell me? But anyway, that's another story. Those asking for TJ, here you go. But the I-45 was administratively closed, and then we now had to send a request to the field office to reopen when the vow was approved. So that's usually how that goes. But because it's USCIS, it's not going to be shocking. Hopefully not, but it would not be shocking if they say nobody showed up and then they're denying it. You just file a new one. Don't waste time at all. Okay. Good evening, Jimmy Babe. How are you? All right. I think we got all the questions answered. That was pretty quick. Hey, Mr. Maggie, how are you? What? What in God's is going on? What did he say now? I'm at the airport, like taking off soon after almost 9 years. Safe travels. And the reason why I know that I could give him advice is because I represented him. So I know his case. So I ain't worried. By God's grace, I ain't worried about him. I know his case. But any other travel questions, unless you're a client of mine that I represent or I know about your history, can't answer questions like that. But it is after 9 years. Wow. I can only imagine. Safe travel. Safe travel. Bring and get me some kilishi. I like to see less kilishi. Well, Finance Shani is back. Finance Shani is another one. She's my client, so I wasn't worried. And we thank God for Johnny Mercy's back. So this lady has been on the move from USA to Lagos to Saudi to Nigeria to USA to Canada to Finance Shani. But we thank God for Johnny Mercy's, and so it's not what a journey. Thank you all. It's been wow. She's been busy because you've been gone since April or May. She's been busy, but you have to know about the person's history. So it's a lot easier once you have someone who knows about your immigration record, and they can tell you, okay, yeah, this is, or no, sit your behind down. You're not going anywhere. Yeah, so welcome back. I'm missing. The green card is working. Passport 64. The green card is really working. 64. She's been everywhere. It's all about God, and we thank God. We thank God. We thank God. She hasn't been able to travel for a while, but I remember when we got her green card last December, and which rightfully so. The very first place she went was to see her son. Rightfully so. So we thank God. God is faithful. It's nothing like being able to just see Mr. Maggi after 9 years. Wow. That is something. So, but anyway, so hopefully, information that we share here helps. But if you have something that it's going to need a much more detailed approach, we offer paid consultations, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour. Go on our website, olalayalawfirm.com, and you'll be able to schedule your consultations. I don't think I have any availability until next week. So yeah, story of my life. But congratulations to you. I have a university that I've been representing for the last 10 years. Yeah, it's going to be 10 years later this year. And so I handle all the immigration, or my firm handles all the immigration cases. We primarily do perm, green card petitions, and then non-immigrant H-1B. So we got another approval today for someone who when she first came in, and she was working for another place, but they told her because she had some issues in her background, they couldn't do a change of status. But someone introduced her to my client, and then they called it like, hey, we need this person on our team. Is this doable? So something we started the legwork back in February. No, January. And so I was like, okay, no, we can't start anything until this has been taken care of. And but whenever I do an H-1B, it always takes me back to and my mom will tell you my journey, where that was what started my immigration journey, because I changed from a B1, B2 to an H-1B. And actually, every time I remember my story, I have to always remember, I don't know if my mom is still here. The person God used for me in my immigration journey is Femi Badiji. That's his name. He didn't have to, because we always have someone that God puts in our lives. I'm not even sure how we met him. My mom knows that story, but I think I was a week before. It was a week before my I-94 expired or something. It's when my H-1B came through. But Femi Badiji, was the one who introduced me to the employer who ended up filing the H-1B petition for me. And that was the same person I worked with, where Epic Movements, I sent you the contract. I haven't heard from you again. That was the same to go. Right? That was the same person that helped me get into immigration, because he was an immigration attorney. But I don't say how we met Femi Badiji, but that was the angel in my life, because I was like, okay, I'm out of here. My whole family was here. My mom was worried. I go 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒂𝒏𝒕 in Nigeria and all that. But I say all that to say this. So because I started my journey with H-1B because God used someone in my life. And whenever I have these approvals for H1, it's all because I always remember, hello, Miss Yaba. We got a notice from USCIS now confirming that I've been added to your case. So that's good. So every time I have an approval, it takes me back to where my immigration journey started from. And I think about where I am now, and being able to do the same thing where I started for someone else and see people's lives change. It truly is a full circle moment and a testament of God's goodness. So the same God who brought me full circle with that journey, like it more, it's still the same God who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above and beyond, even in every wrong situation. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter how many applications have been denied, how many times you have filed, how many rejections you've gotten. Just keep going, because you just never know that one person that God is going to use to favor you. That one immigration attorney who's going to take your case with all the passion in the world. That one immigration officer who's going to handle your file and say, why would we not approve? Because as Proverbs 21 says, the heart of the king is in his hands. It just takes God to say, this person is going to be the one to make the decision that I'm going to tell them to make, that would favor you and put you on your way to your calling. So let's keep going. No worries, but it's going to expire in 3 days. So if it cancels out tomorrow, it's because we pay for it. So we don't want to get charged penalties. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. You have to have faith and ask for favor. Yes, speak it. Faith and favor goes together, but fear has no place where there's faith. We're going to demolish fear with faith. And so believe that God is going to use that one person this month. Is going to bring that one angel that is going to catapult you into where you're supposed to be. As long as you don't give up and you keep believing, so shall it be. Thanks, everybody. I will see you guys on the next live. Bye. Have a good night.